What's up, Vol fans? What's up, SEC fans? Bobby C here, and this is the new Volunteer Roadshow Studios provided by CFI. They're going to let me use that for my studios for today's live show, and this is their big, beautiful Kenworth 680 True to the Troops truck. Now, they really support our veterans, and we have a lot of veterans working here at CFI. So show them some support with hashtag True to the Troops, and let's get with it.
You can sense the intensity as they await the arrival of the Tennessee team here at Cleveland Stadium. The number one undefeated Volunteers prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, Vol fans? What's up, SEC fans? I'm having some technical difficulties. I heard Uncle Lou talking about this on his show where he had to update his OBS, and it's causing him some problems. So if I can get some ones on how you're hearing me, I'd appreciate that. That was a ball game. I hope you guys can hear me now. I've got BVD on with us. I'm going to bring him on in a minute. But I want to hear from you guys. 855-489-7623. I guess I'm going to go ahead and bring BVD on here in just a second. As soon as I click on this live chat over here, I'm getting some ones. So, BVD, are you on with us?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, I didn't get to watch the game. I did listen to a lot of it, and it's a lot different listening to a biased radio broadcast than watching it. What is your overall feel about how we played? I know it turned out to be a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but I want to know what you think.
Yeah, it was probably closer than a lot of people thought, in the sense of halfway through the third quarter and right there at the start of the fourth. I don't know how much of a realistic chance we had of winning the game, but, we were at least within striking distance. Some coaching mistakes, I think, down the stretch, that had we actually been in a closer game and had a chance to win, would have come back to haunt us. The 2-point conversions mainly I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
But that's stuff he'll learn as he goes. They dominated us in yardage and time of possession and all that stuff. But what I saw today was a lot of what seems to be the gold standard at Tennessee here in the last few years is we just can't catch a daggone break. First Georgia series we stripped from, and instead of one of our guys picking it up, their guy picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown.
I did get to see that. That's one thing I saw in Bleacher Report at halftime. I watched that. They just got some breaks, but they are a better team. I mean, there's no lying about that.
Well, yeah, sure.
How did our offensive line look this game over, the previous 4 games? Do they seem like they're getting any better?
Pass protection seemed a little better. Garantano was still getting killed some, but he did have time to pass the ball. It's still a lot of work. I tell you what, man, what I saw today, and good God, I hate to say this and I hate to admit it, is we sure could have used Cade Mays at Tennessee. He looked awful good out there for Georgia. Of course, he looked like his typical self, blocking in the back and holding and stuff like that. But, I mean, he was I mean, he looked like a seasoned veteran out there, the way he was tossing some of our linemen around. Before you go any further, I want to know why in the hell you were listening to it and not watching it.
Well, there was a G-Bats truck show today. I had a previous engagement at a fall festival in town, and I've just been running around getting a lot of stuff done, and I thought I was going to be able to get in front of a television, but I just said, well, you know what? It's already too late. By the time I get to a TV, it'll be third quarter, and we'll probably be down 30 points, and I just decided to keep it on the radio, but that's why.
I'm gonna tell you now. There's this little thing out there about, if you want to be a Tennessee fan and be a Tennessee fan that does internet shows and stuff like that, you got to put a little time into watching your team play.
Hey, I watched last
so
week.
you can talk about it.
I watched
last
week.
I mean, one game out of 22 don't count. Of all the games you got to watch, it happened to be the worst one we played in years.
I know, that hurt. Well, let's grab a call, Big Vol Daddy. I see we got Vol Advocate Danny Atkins on hold, and we've got a couple others. So call in. It's one thing to hear me and Big Vol Daddy give our opinion, but I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear from some Georgia fans, Tennessee fans, anybody else that wants to call in. But we're going into Vol Advocate Danny Atkins. What you got for Big Vol Daddy and Catfish?
Hey Catfish. Hey BVD. I love both of y'all. Hey, Georgia really didn't impress me. They really didn't. I mean, Tennessee was hanging close with them, and I really think that if we, I think we're going to win some games this year. I really do, because I just think that we got the ability to do it. I just think that we make some mistakes sometimes, and sometimes we don't have things. They don't bounce our way, just like this last game and this game, like with that fumble with that guy right there. The other guy just picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. It's like if bad luck's going to happen, it happens to us. But I really just think that we're gonna get some games this year. I really do, because I think that the guys that we got, I think if they just go out there and play hard, because Georgia, it was 24-12 for a while there, and then they kept it like 10-0 for a while. If we could have just scored, we could have we could have turned it. If the tide could have turned in our way, and then we could have put them down. But Georgia really just they didn't impress me. They're probably going to win the East, but I see Bama just killing them in the SEC championship. I think Bama's going to beat them probably by like 2 touchdowns in the SEC and the conference championship. What do y'all think about that?
Go ahead, BVD.
Well, I think if Alabama played them tomorrow, it'd be more than 2 touchdowns. But
oh yeah, because they're the best. Because they're the best looking team. But
I think Georgia looked a little bit better than I think you might be giving them credit for. They didn't beat us 50-0, but where we had some bad breaks, they also had some bad breaks in the first half. They had a couple of sure touchdowns, that they didn't get because they were slightly overthrown, or, Georgia was just a couple of inches away from breaking that thing open in the first half. I'm glad they didn't.
Well, yeah, me too. But I'm glad they didn't get those plays. But I think that our defense played them pretty good, and that kind of tends to make the quarterback make mistakes, where he overthrows it and everything. So, I mean, what do y'all think? I think that we're going to end up winning some games this year. I still think that we can go to a bowl game.
Oh, I don't see that happening, Advocate. I'm not. We're going to have to see. Let's just hope they keep improving. We're still 4 wins away from going to a bowl game, and right now, I don't see us winning 4 games. I just don't. I hope you're right. But
I think that we can. Vanderbilt's looking better than they have looked, but I think that we can win that one. And then Kentucky's looking good, but when we play them and everything, last year we really probably should have beat them last year, I think, and Kentucky fans know that and everything. So we can still, like, there's a possibility we can still beat them. And if we win either the Missouri or South Carolina game, that's what that would be the 3 games beside that Charlotte game that could put us in a bowl game.
Well, Danny, I'm gonna grab another
What are
call,
your
and
thoughts on that, Cat?
I'm gonna answer that. I've been promising everybody, we're going to a bowl game, but here's the facts. We're going to have to improve a lot on the offensive line. We're going to have to get these mistakes out of the way. We're going to have to grow up as a team and start gelling, because if we don't, we might only have one more win for the rest of the season. But I appreciate your call. I've got a stack of calls. And, Danny, you followed me from the beginning. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love you, Catfish. I love you too, BVD. And, go Vols. I hope. I want to see us go to a bowl game. So I hope our season ends up pretty good. But I think that I still got faith in Jeremy Pruitt that he can take us and turn us around.
Well, we'll see. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to pick up Couch Coach, and there's a lot of people in the comment section saying this is Justin Fields' team. I want a Georgia perspective. I'm glad Couch Coach is on with us. I hope that's who it is. Is that who I've got here?
You got me, sir. I am in Athens, just hanging out, waiting for the traffic to die down.
What did you think about the game?
Couch Coach's answer, Catfish.
What's that, fellas? I didn't hear you.
Go ahead, BVD.
I was going to predict the answer to Catfish's question. No, this is not Justin Fields' team.
Well, if we took a vote,
he wants to know your opinion.
It just we are what we are this year. I mean, we are what we are this year, and I'm going to keep saying that to Georgia fans again. Sometimes the haters are right. I mean, we did lose a lot of talent last year. Now, we're going to be a very good football team, and we're going to win 11, maybe 12 games. If we keep playing the way we play, are we going to beat an LSU? No. Are we going to beat Auburn? No. Is Alabama absolutely going to beat the snot out of us if we play like we play today? Absolutely, 100%. But I still think, Georgia's about an 11-3 team. I kind of felt that way earlier in the year. Based on what I'm seeing this year, nothing has changed. Jake Fromm is what he is. He's going to throw for 150 to about 170 yards a game. We're going to run the ball. It's going to be very boring. We're not going to evolve past that. Justin Fields, he looks like he has some potential, but, man, he is very green. He screwed up some really basic handoffs, which is just really just very immature. But, you definitely can see the potential with him. But we just are what we are, man. I mean, we're clearly the second best team in the SEC, which means we might be the second best team in the nation, but we're not even close to Alabama right now, and that's not a mystery to anybody.
I think that's debatable right now too, Daniel, about you guys being the second best team in the conference. I think right now LSU's got an argument for that. Just right now.
Maybe. I mean, I got to see more out of that Burrow kid. I mean, the thing about him is if we can lock down on that run game, maybe. But LSU's got a couple losses in them. They just do. I don't see anything out of Ed Orgeron that Les Miles couldn't also bring to the table. But they might beat us this year. You might be right on that.
Well, I'm going to
cover. I mean, that's
Go ahead, BVD.
I wasn't really necessarily saying that LSU was going to beat Georgia. I just think that right now, they could have a legitimate argument for second place. It don't matter. We'll know more later on. And if Georgia keeps getting better, they'll be the Georgia that everybody thought they were at the end of the year. Because if they clean up some mistakes from today and some penalties, they roll to that 50 to whatever score that their fans thought.
Yeah, I just, Catfish, I know you got a lot of calls here, so I'll keep this very short. But, I felt about this game the way I felt after the South Carolina game last year where we beat them 24-10. I was like, you know what, guys? If you're going to bring your C and your B game right now, you got whooping coming with Auburn here next week. And sure enough, that happened. So if these guys want to keep playing immature football and they want to come out and play very slow, then just keep playing that way. We're going to go to Baton Rouge in a couple of weeks, and LSU is going to absolutely wax our butt. So, this team is either going to grow up or they're not going to grow up, or they're going to get their eyes beat out of them really fast. So that's the way I feel. I'm kind of that's just how I feel about teams that I see. I mean, Alabama, no way are we going to beat them right now. LSU, probably not the way we're playing. So, yeah.
Well, let's grab a call and hang with us, Couch Coach. Somebody's been holding for 12 minutes, and let's see what they've got to say. They want to talk about today's game. What you got for Catfish, Big Vol Daddy, and Couch Coach? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? What you got for Catfish?
Going once, going twice.
All right, we'll go to another one. We got another one on hold. We'll talk to them. Says his name's Kevin. What you got for Catfish, Couch Coach, and the legendary Big Vol Daddy?
What's going on, guys? I called in yesterday. I'm the Kevin guy. I am not pleased with today's win. We've got issues, and they are really visible. I mean, that was a very sloppy game. We should have won that game by more than what we did. And the score shows 38-12, but that game was a lot more competitive than the score. Tennessee was able to stay in that game. Georgia would get absolutely destroyed by Alabama if they played tomorrow. I have never been so mad at Fromm. It's been since last season, probably early in the season. I'm considering you play Fields a lot next week. We're playing Vanderbilt, and Vandy barely beat whoever they beat today. So Fields has got to play a lot more next week, because I feel he's got more explosiveness in him to get this offense going than Fromm does. I just don't see it in Fromm, man. I don't.
That's your call, Couch Coach. Respond to him. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with all of that, man. And like I said before, I just feel like this team, it just feels like we're kind of in between. Like it seems like last year at this time we were really setting our goals. We were blowing teams out. We were starting to make a claim. We had good senior leadership, and that's just. I just think that stuff matters. All right. I mean, we clearly have a very talented team. But, at points you have to grow up. I mean, I remember between the time when Florida won their 2 national titles with Tebow and that group, they had a season where they're like 9-4. Now, we're not going to go 9-4, right? But I think it's kind of one of those kind of deals where it's like you lose some upperclassmen, you lose some talent from the year before, you have another year where you're kind of like, 10, 11 wins, and then you have the next year where, you have a legit team. And I think this Georgia team next year is going to have a very, very good, national title caliber kind of team. I think this year, we're kind of a Sugar Bowl kind of team. I think we'll probably have one regular season loss. I don't see us beating Alabama, and we'll probably go to the Sugar Bowl. So that's what I predicted earlier in the year, and that's about what we look like. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, I'm just not feeling what I felt last year from this team and how confident. I'm not confident going into LSU like I was in the preseason. I mean, we might lose that game by 2 touchdowns the way we're playing. Justin Fields was the reason we won that football game today, and our defense showing up pretty well. I know it's Tennessee and their offense isn't that good, but the defense did come up big, and Fields came up huge. He had 2 huge touchdowns that helped us win this game. Fromm, I don't get him in the pocket. I don't understand him in the pocket. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's like his feet are just stuck where they are, and he'll lose the football. If Tennessee gets those 2 fumbles that Fromm had dropped, it's a totally different ball game than what we got.
Well, what if?
Go ahead, BVD.
If some butts are candy and nuts, right?
Go ahead, BVD.
I'm kind of loving this myself. If you listen to these two Georgia fans talk, you'd think Georgia lost the game today. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a Tennessee fan. I did not see Justin Fields being the reason you guys won that game today. If not for that penalty, before halftime, he gets picked off, and you guys don't get that touchdown there. He had a couple of good runs, but good Lord, on the one simple handoff play, he turned the wrong way.
He was horrible on that. Oh.
Yeah. And Fromm has one bad game out of 15, and I knew this was going to happen to Georgia. I knew when Fromm had a bad game, everybody would start calling for Fields. That's just natural. That's the way it is. Look at Clemson. Their fans wanted Trevor Lawrence. I know it's a different thing. They wanted Trevor Lawrence. They got him. Now what do they got? So anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another. I'm gonna grab another call. They're starting to stack up on me. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. One more thing.
I just say one more thing. I have not seen the Jake Fromm that I saw the last 3 games of the season last year, and I don't see it coming back. Let's play Fields next week. We're playing Vanderbilt. Let's get this crap together. Go Dogs. Let's go.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go to one of my longtime viewers. I think this is who this is. I've actually met this guy, Billy Cole.
Hey, buddy.
Is this Billy Cole?
Yes, it is. Live and in person.
Finally got a Tennessee fan on here. Talk to me. What'd you think about the game?
Well, first and foremost, glad to see you back. You're healthy, brother. Glad to see it.
Yeah, we're back.
As far as the game day, you have never been to a game until you watch it with BVD live. Now, that was entertainment today. That was entertainment. Now, I'm going to tell you something. His cuss jar is up to about $68, to be honest with you.
More than
that. So you got some money coming to get equipment.
What is he getting, 5 for a penny? $68. What is he doing, putting 5 cuss words to every penny in there? What do you mean, $68?
Well, it's like $1 a word. $1 a word. I got him at $68.
Oh, at $1 a word. If it's $1 a word, it was $68 before the first quarter was over.
You said that.
I want to know
something. I'm with you today. Hey, I'm fine with Tennessee. I'm not making any excuses. We played the number 2 team in the nation. That's a joke. That's a joke. They're dropping with Clemson. They ain't in the top 5. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
No. Oh, they're going to drop. They can't be. And I think we've been playing them since 1899, and I think, what is it? All-time series is tied now, 23-23? I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
All knotted up.
But I think if we tweak a little tweaking here, I don't know if we flew down and rode the bus. If we rode the bus down, Pruitt needs to stop at every rest stop and do tackling drills all the way back to Knoxville. Get off the bus. Mm-hmm. We're doing tackling drills. And other than that, I think with a little tweaking, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Charlotte. I don't know about Kentucky. I don't know if y'all watched them, but their offensive line is blowing huge holes. I mean, I'm 63 years old, and I could run through the damn holes they're blowing open.
What'd you think about Cade Mays today, Billy?
He was impressive. He had 5 stars for a reason. In your comment section, I gave him a lot of grief and everything, wondered how he got out of the state. Somebody cut his ankle bracelet off. But, the kid is good. I mean, he's starting in Georgia, number 2 team in the nation. You can't take it from him. The kid is good. So,
that
he was
don't mean we got to like him, though, does it?
There you go. But everybody gets in where they can fit in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they promised him, but whatever. That's why there's depth charts, and we'll just get the next one. And if you look at 2019, Jeremy's went down to Georgia, and he's got a few people out of Georgia. He's got a few people. So, but, we're getting better. We didn't quit. I think that was the most impressive thing.
That's it.
I think Banks 33 is going to be the running back. That kid is awesome. He runs with a vengeance. He runs with
Yeah.
fire in his eyes. And he
I
just
don't-
needs to hold on to a football in class all next week, though.
Yeah, I don't hate
Yeah, I'd make him do like that kid on the program. I'd give him that ball and told him if I ever caught him without it, he's running the damn stairs at Neyland Stadium.
There you go. There you go. But other than that, I was satisfied today. I wish we'd have played a little bit closer, but to be honest with you, the O-line is still a little suspect here and there, and we didn't tackle worth a damn. I'll just be honest with you. That's pitiful. I've seen high school teams tackle better than what these kids are doing.
Yeah,
they have no technique,
terrible.
no technique at all. And I'll tell you to point out something to you else. We lined up before the ball was even hiked. We lined up offsides 5 times a day. 5 times. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. We can't even line up.
Yeah, I don't understand things like that because they always talk about teaching the fundamentals. That's shit
Yes, sir.
you should know before you leave high school. It don't change. When you get from high school to college, the rules don't all of a sudden change, to where
Yes,
you
sir.
have to relearn everything. I don't get that one.
Hey, let me get off here, but one more thing. Remember when we played ETSU and they were interviewing Phil Fulmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, we got the ETSU program back up?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Yep. And he said, we've got Randy back in ETSU. We was talking about Randy Sanders. Randy Sanders is just 90 miles up the road, and that's all I'm saying. Randy Sanders is 90 miles away.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, but I think I know where you're going with that. You want to stir up a bunch of Vol fans? That'd be a surefire way to do it.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
That's
Well,
surefire.
he's 90. Well, I listened to Phil Fulmer. If you go back, he said, "Yeah, we got the program back up and running at ETSU." I said, "Whoa, we? How's we?" But he's 90 miles away. 90 miles away. So anyway, I'll get off here. Nice talking to you. Enjoy the game, BVD. Get you some equipment and get it up and going. Loan him some money, Catfish. You got all that money.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate
Come
it,
see me.
Billy. I will. Thank you, buddy. Well, the phone
Bye-bye.
lines are open, 855-489-7623. I want to ask Couch Coach, as an outsider, how do you think Tennessee looked? You told me how Georgia looked. I want to know what you thought about our team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that whenever you have a team like this, I mean, you have to just look for any kind of improvement that you can get. And I agree with that last caller. I mean, you have to be impressed that your team didn't quit. I think that's the first thing you want to look at, because I felt at times in that Florida game that the kids kind of quit there a little bit, and I didn't feel like they quit today. So that's good. I mean, and especially going into a bye week, I think this kind of gives you guys an opportunity to kind of heal up a little bit, to kind of get your bearings a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to beat Auburn or nothing, but it helps, right? I mean, so while 26 points is not ideal, I mean it's definitely not. I mean, you played better against us than you played against Florida. I mean, the turnovers, you still got to work on those a little bit. I mean, when you're a team like you guys, you have to improve on the little things like that. I mean, the lining up, the fundamentals, mechanics. When you lose on those kind of things, you're just not going to be in the game against the better teams. And so any little thing like that can help you guys, you should do it. I was actually impressed with your run game. I think that you guys could keep developing that and kind of keep growing that and have that be an identity for you. But yeah, I mean, those are the things that I saw from Tennessee today.
Well, BVD, and
I'm not sure.
tell me what you think.
I'm not sure about the whole they didn't quit. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that they did quit. That's not where I'm going. What I'm saying is they're getting compliments from people for not quitting. That bothers me because, okay, why would you quit? I mean, hell, you're 18 to 22 years old. We shouldn't have to wonder whether or not you're going to play the whole game and quit. Your ass better be out there trying and playing and not quitting. or I know one thing. One thing I do know about Jeremy Pruitt, he will pack your bags for you if you're a quitter. I do believe that much about him.
I want to ask you
And
something, BVD, about Pruitt. He got a lot of grief from a lot of fans across the SEC for kicking that whiteboard. What did you think? I think it's refreshing to see him getting fired up. I want to see him grab some face masks, dang it, and get them guys in gear. What did you think about his demeanor on the sideline the last couple of games?
I thought he should have kicked the coach writing on the damn whiteboard because the guy just kept on writing. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That guy didn't miss a beat, man. I got no problem with that at all. Even, the week before that when he grabbed, I forget who the player was, but he grabbed him. He didn't jerk him around or nothing like that, but he grabbed him with both hands on his helmet.
Yeah.
But you better do stuff like that now while you still can, because eventually football is going to get to where if you accidentally brush a player, if you brush them walking past them, it's going to be a targeting penalty. So
yeah. And they've been calling a lot of that lately, but I'm glad that that's a reviewable play because I hate to see it. Somebody get called for targeting if it's not. And I think their deal is to throw the flag if it's close and then have it reviewed. But we do make
while
a lot
you're
of
talking
dumb
about
mistakes.
That, Catfish, I want to ask Couch Coach, did you think that was targeting today? I know you got to know the play I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's the one in the first half, right? I'm trying to remember that because you got
yeah
in between some of that. Yeah, and they called that on the Georgia player.
Well,
right?
they didn't call anything.
Okay.
There was no flag thrown at all, and it was helmet to helmet. Whether or not our guy was defenseless was debatable. I was kind of arguing with somebody in my live stream about that. I thought the guy was defenseless because he was moving, but he was being tackled and he was being spun around. I mean, your guy had complete control of him, and then the other guy comes barreling in and hits him helmet to helmet. I thought that was the definition of targeting. It wasn't gonna make a difference in the outcome of the game. But I mean, if you're gonna have those frickin' rules, like Catfish said, at least throw the flag and then review it.
I didn't get to see it,
agree.
but they seem to be, from what I have watched, to throw anything that's close and let them review it. But I guess it's from what it sounds like, they didn't do that on this play.
Yeah, I think the officiating was terrible today, both ways.
Has there been any other games that's been a surprise for you? I haven't got to see any scores. I heard that Jimbo Fisher grabbed a player's face mask, and the player came after the game and tweeted it was a good thing and I needed it and all that stuff. Is there anything happening already today that we need to know about or talk about?
Well, that was a closer game today. That was a close game, the Texas A&M Arkansas game. It was only Texas A&M only won by a touchdown or something. I think they were favored by 19 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was closer than people thought. Vanderbilt came a hair of losing to Tennessee State. Tennessee State was down, I think 4 or 5 points. What was it? It was 4 or 5 points late in the game, and they were driving, and their drive stalled at like the Vandy 20, I think, on a fourth down play. Yeah. So they came a hair of losing to Tennessee State, man. That would have been not Appalachian State, Michigan big as far as an upset goes, but it would have been right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, Couch Coach, tell me what beer your beer of choice today. What was it? Where all did you go, and how was the tailgating?
The tailgating was good, man. It was a good day. It was a little hot. I think, move around downtown as much as I usually do, but I've definitely, partaken of a lot of the Terrapin fine brews and the Creature Comforts. Had the Paradiso, had the, of course, the Bibbo and the Tropicalia. Those are all staples for me. So Feeling pretty good. We kind of had our tailgate set up to where I think some people might have been stealing some of our stuff as they walked by. So we had to, like, make another beer run by halftime. But it was pretty good. It was a good tailgating experience. It seemed like a lot of people left the game early today. I don't know what that was about.
They're not fans if they're leaving early.
I guess not, man. I mean, yeah.
I was going to ask you, it looked like, I would say 70% of your students left at halftime, and it looked to me like there wasn't 1,000 Tennessee fans there. The two sections, the two sections that that visiting fans always get there at Sanford Stadium, you could always see very distinct orange. Yeah. And today, man, I mean, it was empty.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't seem to be as many Tennessee fans as normal, which I'm okay with that, right? But no, it was a good experience. I mean, typically I like to, and when I put this, I usually like to go to some kind of rivalry game, right? So I went to Tennessee this year. Usually go to Auburn, Georgia. That's a big one for me. South Carolina I went to last year, and it definitely seems like with Auburn, Georgia in particular, you saw a lot of Auburn fans around, things like that. Today it just seemed like a lot more Georgia fans, but I guess that's kind of expected based on just kind of the season that Tennessee's having. But, Tennessee still shows up. I mean, even on some of these, bad years, they tend to have a good following. So I was a little surprised by that today.
Yeah, that's probably the fewest Tennessee fans I've seen at a road game. This is not a stretch. That was probably the fewest Tennessee fans I've seen at a road game ever, at an SEC road game. And I mean that sincerely. I was shocked. Well, I take that back. I wasn't shocked. I knew, that our attendance would be down, but man, it was barren for Tennessee fans.
Yeah.
Well, we got an off week, so
fellas.
we're not going to lose next week, and I'm going to cut this thing short. And I appreciate Couch Coach. I appreciate Big Vol Daddy, the legend, the man that got me into this, for helping me out. And I'm gonna cut this thing short, and I appreciate all the callers, and I think our team's getting better, and I think Georgia's going to get better. I don't know if they weren't just up for the game. I don't know what their deal was, but anyway, y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. We're coming for you in 2 weeks, Alabama, and we will be ready to play. I promise you that.